So in our model in terms of assessment is a little different than a traditional school psychologist, in that we don't just have one school psychologist working with each student and doing the whole evaluation. We have a team of technically 4, but definitely 2 school psychologists working on each evaluation, because we really do believe that collaboration is a great thing and 2 heads are better than one. And there's a lot of conceptualization and discussion between these 2 psychologists about what they're seeing, what the evaluations are.
Again, anyone who's been in the field as a school psychologist knows that kids, by the time we are asked to help with a child in school, usually by the time the child is brought to our attention, there is a lot going on. It's not a simple solution, because if it was, probably teachers and schools would have found a way to intervene earlier. And so a lot of times we get kids, and it's messy. The data is messy. It's a little complicated. We're not sure if we're being objective. That's a real hard one too. How much of my own stuff am I bringing to interpreting? School psychologists to bounce that off of is amazing. We challenge each other's thinking, and we also encourage each other. We're like, yeah, that is best practice, or that is how we do it, or that, I agree with you, or I don't. And so it really enhances the outcome, and it keeps us more efficient, because we don't get stuck thinking about one thing for too long. We have each other to bounce it off of.
So yeah, we have kind of 2 psychologists on the front end of each evaluation. Then we also have a third one that comes in towards the end and does one final swoop and look and edit and make sure.
Catches all the typos.
There
are way more typos than I ever thought. I just submitted an eval and I was like, I know I got all the typos this time. No, I did not get all the typos. I keep interrupting you, but it's okay if I say what the 2 psychologists do, how their roles are different?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so one psychologist, and it could switch. You could be either role anytime you work on a case with us. The lead psychologist is the psychologist who actually goes to the school and gets to know the teachers and the parents, and actually does the one-on-one FaceTime testing with the student, and not just testing, but getting to know the child and playing games and drawing and whatever information we need. The lead psychologist is on the ground level getting that information. The support psychologist, we have support psychologists in both California and in Texas, which, by the way, here we're called licensed specialists in school psychology, but all of our Texas people are also credentialed in California as school psychologists. Those people do all the legwork of making the template, putting in the numbers. There's a whole lot of kind of busy work as a school psychologist, where you take the information you have and you're just plugging it in. It's not the meaningful, rich part where you're interpreting, or you're saying, this is what this is what I learned from the parents. So the support psychologist puts in all that background, and the lead psychologist then comes in and puts in all that meat of the interviews and the relationships and the test results. And then they, together in a video conference, discuss the results, decide, do we need to do more assessment to reach a conclusion, or do we have a good solid conclusion here? When they agree on the conclusion, the lead psychologist wraps it up and finalizes the report, and then the editor comes in and edits. So that's how that works.
Yeah, that was good.